Good afternoon, investor and corporate. Welcome to Digital Roadshow Year's End 2024 Performance Review. This session will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start the session by 30-minute presentation, followed by 15-minute Q&A. During Q&A, investor may leave your questions in meeting room chat box or use raise your hand function. We will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. May I now invite PTT Global Chemical Public Company Limited to start the presentation.
Hello. Understand the investor already in the call, correct? The company will start with the presentation. Today we'll be covering two key main points. I think the business overview, we will skip that one and go into the strategic update. And the third one is on the market situation. For the strategic execution for PTTGC, we are focusing on both the short-term and the long-term initiative. As we all know that currently the petrochemical segment is quite challenged by the overall downturn as well as the economic uncertainty. So we like to prepare our strategy for both the short-term focus as well as the long-term. On this page, you can see that for the short-term, we will be focusing on areas that help to improve our competitiveness as well as on the performance enhancement as well. I think the key thing we like to cover about the short-term is that on the portfolio transformation, we have progressed significantly on the restructuring of Wind Correction PTT SIC. And that will be realized into uplift in terms of net income in 2025 of around 4.6 billion Thai baht. As for other key areas that we look at is on the competitiveness, which the main thing that help to enhance our competitiveness is the ethane feedstock that differentiate us from the other cracker. Ethane feedstock availability from the PTT in 2025, we expect to increase by 20%. So that will help to enhance our profitability. And in the long term, we also just announced the project which involved the import of ethane from US to help further enhance our security for ethane feedstock. And in terms of the short-term efficiency and cost optimization, we also look at how to enhance the performance in 2025. And we are just set the target that we want to enhance the performance by around 4.5 billion Thai baht, which we will share a few more details on that. And in the long term, we have the target for holistic optimization of around $300 million. And the last one is focusing on our goal for high-value business and low carbon, which for the short term, we're looking at our next. And for the long term, we also plan to introduce the Mataput Specialty Hub, which is the hub for specialty chemical that will be located in Mataput. On the next page is just to highlight about our strength in terms of the competitiveness. As we all know about the down cycle in the petrochemical. So what are the things that PTTGC have that differentiate from the other players? I think I already mentioned in terms of our olefin cracker on the bottom left part is showing that we still have the competitiveness by being in the second quarter. And that is the thing that helped us be able to be there is our position as the ethane cracker, the linkage that we have with PTT. So that is something that helped us to be more competitive over the other naphtha cracker. And on the right-hand side, you can see that we compare to our peers in terms of the operating rate. We're still able to run our plant at close to 100%. and also more than the operating rate of all the peers in the industry as well. So now I'll just go through the strategy highlight in each of the 6 key areas that we look at. So firstly, starting on the portfolio transformation, this one is the area that I mentioned that we have progressed in terms of the discontinuing the business that we identify as uncompetitive business. So the 2 entities that we're talking about is OneCorrect and PTT Asahi. And for OneCorrect, we have progress according to the reorganization process. And this process is expected to be complete in the first quarter of this year. And after this process is complete, we expect that it will contribute to us in terms of the EBITDA uplift, since this business will no longer be contributing the loss to us. And on top of that, we will also running a separate process for the sale of the US and Thailand asset. So this progress is ongoing, and we expect it to be completed in the first half of 2025. For PTT Asahi is going according to plan as well in terms of the business withdrawal, which we already complete and the plan and already provided for all the provision related to all the costs. The second area is holistic optimization, which is that we are going to look across all our organization, identify areas that will help to improve our costs. So the target for 2030 is $300 million in the uplift. So that will include various areas such as feedstock optimization, and also on the product side, which is to work with the customer to enhance the market, the product offering that we offer to the customer. The next page is on the further drill down into the area of global feedstock sourcing, which I mentioned that the project that we just announced to the market related to the ethane import from the US. So this page is showing that we identify that ethane will continue to be the most competitive feedstock for the olefin cracker, given that it's able to provide a more stable EBITDA margin. And if we look at GC, our own configuration of the cracker, you can see that our cracker can intake the maximum ethane at around 2.5 million tons. Currently for 2025, we expect that will be intake ethane around 2 million tons. So it means that there's still some spare capacity that we can use more ethane as an additional marginal load for our cracker. So that's the background behind our ethane import project, which is showing more detail in the next page. That this project will be the collaboration between DC and our partner to import ethane from the US, where there is a lot of supply of ethane available to export to the global market. So we enter into the contract with the leading ethane supplier in the US, which is a company called Enterprise Product Partners. We will buy about 400,000 tons of ethane from them under a 15-year supply agreement that we have with them. And to facilitate this import, we also enter into the agreement between PTT, which will be related to the chartering of the ethane vessel to transport the ethane from the US into Thailand. And lastly, we also utilize our JV company called Thai Tank Terminal, who is the provider of tank and storage service in Thailand. So they will build the ethane tank to use specifically for this ethane import project. So that will be the last piece of the overall import of ethane into Thailand for us. So From this project, you can see that the key aspect is that it's able to import cane to help with our feedstock mix, but at the same time, we minimize the overall capex spending, which is at only around $133 million. And it will provide the benefit to us at around $40 million per year after the COD in 2029. The next one is, as I mentioned, about how we want to also build Mataput into the specialty hub, and we will do that by utilizing the infrastructure that we have at Mataput to attract the various specialty company to come in and build their facility and infrastructure in Mataput, which we think is the location that is strategically located in Southeast Asia. And we will also use Alnex as one of the key components within this specialty hub as well. So this will be one of the long-term aspirations that we have. The next one is on the Alnex business. For the first thing we want to highlight about is mainly on the achievement of Alnex in 2024, which you can see that they were able to grow the business in terms of volume by about 4%. And in terms of EBITDA, it's about 10% growth. So that is quite a significant achievement given the situation of the economy is still uncertain throughout 2024. So that shows that our next business is still able to have the resiliency, still able to maintain their margin even though there's the slowdown in the market condition. And as for this year, we still expect further growth at around mid-single digit of volume growth, as well as other initiative and improvement action items that will help to further uplift our next EBITDA contribution to the GC book as well. For the next page, this is just to summarize about the sustainability action that we do. In terms of recognition from the ESG rater, that we're still able to maintain at the top level amongst all the key ESG rater. On the right-hand side for the sustainable aviation fuel, this is one of the key projects that we have already implemented and fit with our long-term sustainability effort, which is a project that will modify our refinery to be able to use the used cooking oil as one of the feedstock and blend that into the production process. And from there, we'll be able to produce a certain portion of the sustainable aviation fuel, as well as bio-naphtha that can be turned into biopolymers and biochemical. So in this first phase that we have implemented, we will have total capacity of around 6 million liters of SAF per year. So we are in the first phase of this market development, working with the raw material provider and also our customer in order to strengthen and develop this new value chain. Okay, and this is the last piece of the strategy is that I mentioned that we set the target to enhance our performance for 2025, where we have the target overall of about 4.5 billion Thai baht to enhance onto our existing performance, which you can see on the left-hand side that if we exclude the impact from the restructuring of wind correction PTT, the normalized loss would be at around minus 3.4 billion Thai baht. So in terms of the things that we can do by ourselves in order to enhance this performance, the first one is OPEX saving 1 billion Thai baht, right? The second one is reinforcement of our competitiveness through holistic optimization, revenue enhancement, as well as further OPEX and overhead saving. That in total, we expect to achieve another 3.5 billion Thai baht. So in total, we expect that we should be able to achieved 4.5 billion Thai baht in 2025. And then on top of that, we still have additional plan related to the monetization of the non-core asset, which will continue, which will help us both in terms of our balance sheet and also the investment to our P&L as well. Okay, so the next one we will move into the market outlook part.
For the market outlook part, first of all, I will begin with the crude oil outlook. As you can see from this slide is telling you about the crude Dubai price that we expected in 2025. And as right now we have a situation that the Trump policy has affected all over the world of the trade flow policy. So we are watching of the potential impact that the tariffs could impact the change in the trade policies, and that could change production as we move through the year. So at this page, you can see from the bottom of the slide, and this telling you about the levels of the supply growth that will be approximately 1.7 million barrels per day in 2025. As a result, the crude oil balance is expected to shift from a slight stock draw that represent in red in 2024 to a stock build in 2025 with an estimate of 0.3 million barrels per day. So we expected that the price in 2025 may be softer comparing with the average price of 2024. For the petroleum product, you can see from this slide that the wrapping up of in terms of the supply, and there are some increasing of the refinery closure of the China and Europe that would affect the closure that would affect the Singapore GRM to be softer, and with that the ramping up of some of the refineries such as Nigeria, China, and Bahrain will be supply in 2025. In the refinery margins, this will balance by the cutting rate of the refiners. As you can see from the bottom of the graph, if the GRM is lower than $3 per barrel, the refiners may decrease the run rate. So that would help balance the GRM market in the overall of the refiners market margin. Okay, next slide, please. For the PX outlook, as you can see from this slide, PX margin remain mixed with both opportunities and challenges. The positive side, the producer in key regions such as South Korea, Taiwan, China, and Indonesia have responded to some production cutting by 10 to 15%. And in addition, producers are controlling their supplies by the economics of PTA and PET plants, which is expected to support PX margins. And for the headwinds to consider of PX margin, lower gasoline costs are providing less price support for PX. In terms of supply, the new wave of capacity coming up in 2025 with 10 million tons of PTA and 3 million tons of PET expansion. This could put some pressure on the margins in the coming years. And looking ahead, the phasing out of the older PTA technology particularly in China, is helping balance the market as well. For the benzene, this slide is showing you the benzene spread that we expected. As you can see that in 2024, there was some unusual of the low inventory level of benzene, so that affects the higher level of the benzene spread in the second quarter of that year. And on the outlook side, in terms of the capacity, there's still some addition of the benzene downstream capacity in the first quarter of 2025, mainly from China, which will drive the demand. And for the bearish view, we are seeing less cost support from the gasoline because reducing price of the benzene. And for the end market of phenol, there will be some support from additional capacity of phenol that will be coming online in China and South Korea, about 1.2 million tons. Next slide. For the HDPE and PP, the olefins outlooks, we will have a positive side on. We are seeing some supply reductions in many players in Asia, such as in South Korea, Taiwan, Japan, Malaysia, Vietnam, and as well as Philippines. They are cutting back of their production capacity due to the prolonged low margins. And additionally, China is set to implement more of stimulus package in 2025, which could support the demand of the end market. So we expect that looking ahead, in ethylene and propylene capacity that will be added and entered into the market, which will be around 6 million tons of new PE and PP in China in 2025. There still remains challenging in terms of the additional supply, but the more challenging in PP market because the level of the addition supply is the same as previous year. So we expect that there will be some gradually improve in the demand market as supported by the China stimulus package, especially in the packaging sector.
We can thank you for joining us today.
Okay, this session has come to the end. Thank you very much, investor and corporate, for joining the conference. If you do need further details, please feel free to drop us an email. ขอบคุณครับ